Hey guys, thanks for hopping on tonight. Oh my, as my voice, I'm going through puberty, so excuse me. I'm super excited tonight. Oh my gosh, this is really bad. We have Traci Jackson hosting tonight's team call, and it's about the 7 tips on building a successful business. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I came into Beachbody coaching because I wanted to be successful. Did I think I was going to be successful right off the bat? Probably not. Um, but the thing is, we have amazing support in this business. We have great community, great trainings, and you will be shocked how often I hear, if only I would have listened to you a lot sooner, or if only I would have listened to that a lot sooner. And I think tonight is something to really pay attention to and listen to, because I'm sure that Traci's not getting on this call to pull your legs and be like, okay, this is how we do, and it's not going to work. These things are so easy to do, but you know what? Coaching is easy not to do too, right, guys? But with that said, I'm going to introduce my dear friend Traci Jackson. She is one of the most sweetest people I've ever met. And when you hug her, oh my gosh, if you guys go to Summit, you have to get a Traci hug. They're the best hugs in the world. She is the most kindest, sweetest, fun-loving individual I've ever met in my life. And I'm so excited. She's kind of an adopted, unstoppable misfit. But with that said, Traci, why don't you take it away?
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm Traci Jackson. You guys have all seen me on the calls, sitting back, watching. This is my first actual team call that I've ever done outside of my own. So I have notes because I just can't speak off the cuff, you know. So anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about why leadership is hard and the 7 tips for building a successful business. I've been in this business for almost 4 years. In July, it'll be 4 years. And I have done a lot of failing forward. And I've done a lot of learning along the way. So these are some of the tips that I've learned along the way. And I've learned them from watching and learning from the leaders in front of me. So you guys just take some notes. If you have any questions, we'll answer questions at the end. And I'm going to try and be not so lengthy and not be nervous. So, okay, so 7 tips for building a successful business. One of the things that I have been researching are the habits of building a successful business and identifying the 7 key habits of growing a successful business that I am going to share with you guys tonight. So here's what sparked my interest for this topic is that I have had a lot or a few people sign up as a coach and say that they're going to commit to this business and that they're going to do everything. Like they are gung-ho, ready to go, and they even, go as far as writing down an action plan. They're, working their business 30, 60, 90 days, and then they hit a roadblock. And so then they start thinking, this is hard, but in the back, before they start saying that, in the back of my mind, I'm jumping in my seat thinking, yes, they're going to be rock stars. And oh my God, they're going to kill it. And this, one coach, she won her Summit ticket and, right out the gate. And I was all happy and excited, but then it got hard and they stopped working. So they started, telling me about how, this is harder than they thought. They started complaining, and then they became unteachable. And so at that point, it's really kind of hard to bring somebody out of that. It has got to be a decision, and it's got to be a choice. And so, they start doubting themselves, and they start telling themselves that they can't do this, and then they stop doing their workouts, and they stop getting on team calls, and they stop doing everything, because then they have now set themselves up for failure, and they don't want to work any longer. So they start all, they start listening to all of those people who tell them that, oh, that's a scam, oh, that's this and it's that. They start listening to all those naysayers, and so it just becomes a spiraling out of control situation. But here's the deal: this business is work, and it's going to be work. It's just like going to your job every day, and this is a job. This is what we do. This is work. So no matter what, it's not going to be easy. And I assure you that everything that you want in life will be hard work. That's the bottom line. Dedication and loyalty and commitment over time equals success. And that's what I've learned in this business over the last 4 years. Nothing in life will ever be handed to you, and you will make sacrifices, just like being on this team call tonight or getting up early for a workout. It's all work. It won't even be about the goal, but more about the person that you'll become while you're doing it. So I've learned a lot through this business. I've learned a lot about myself in this business. I've learned a lot about people in this business. And so it's all been work. So I find that being in this business for over 4 years, leading my team and being a part of this team, I can tell you that it isn't about just being on the leaders board or walking across the stage, which I have not done yet. About people, and it's about looking back and seeing where you've come from. It's about those challengers that message you and say, you know what, I can touch my toes today, or I am not wearing my oxygen anymore, because I have a challenger who wears oxygen and she's not wearing oxygen as much anymore because she's lost weight. It's about the people's lives that we have touched. So it's much more than the shiny objects that we tend to look at. It's also more about my coaches telling me that they're reaching some pretty amazing goals, or that they bought their first summit ticket, or it's about, those things. Those are the things that matter. It's about all those things that we've overcome, like adversity or failing forward, all the mistakes we've made, and all the tears that we've shed together. Those are all the things that matter. So it's about asking yourself, what can I learn from this? Versus letting ourselves be defeated. It's about the mindset of never giving up, even when times get hard, and never quitting. Because I've wanted to quit 1,000 times. I've said, that's it, I give up. And there's a reason why I'm here, and there's a reason why I haven't given up. And it's because I have a community of sisters and brothers and husbands that won't let me quit, because my heart is in it and I have a passion for this business. So those are the things that matter. So there are habits of highly successful people building a highly successful business that I'm going to share with you. They may not be rocket science, but it's a choice to either do it or not do it. Building a successful business isn't about the amount of time you have been doing it, but what you do with your time. And I've learned that the hard way. So it will be, it isn't going to be built overnight, guys. This business isn't something that's just going to happen. I've seen many coaches over the last 4 years get great success overnight, or what it seems like overnight, and they fizzle. And so all of those shiny objects really, that's what caught their eye, and they weren't willing to put in the work once it came time to work. So that is something to think about. It's steady and consistency, and that's the key. It's just like the compound effect. Post after post, day after day, invite after invite, but showing up every single day is what's going to make your business work. Never stop doing the vital behaviors, because they were created for a reason. We have been told this every call. And I am guilty of not doing them every single day. I am guilty of, I don't need to work out today, or I don't need to invite people today, or I don't need to add people today. I'm guilty of that. And that's why my business stopped growing, because I didn't do the work. Like I said, your business will come to a screeching halt. If you are not doing those things that are created for us, that are laid out for us, it will come to a screeching halt, and then you'll have to start over. And that motivation of, or losing that motivation and having to start over and over and over and over again is the hardest thing in the world to do. So just don't lose the motivation. Just pick up where you're at and just continue to go. But the one thing that I have learned is that this business is your responsibility. It is not your upline's responsibility. It is not your sponsor's responsibility. It is not the person next to you. It is your responsibility to run your business. And I learned that from the very beginning, because my sponsor, she showed me things and kind of gave me the basics of what I needed to learn, and then was like, okay, and I had to learn as I went. And then, I came to a place where I stopped learning and I stopped growing, and I had to reach out. And that's when I reached out to Vicki, and I reached out to other leaders, and I'm like, I need help, because if I don't do something different, it's not going to work. So you have to always reach out, ask questions. What's working for this person? What's working for that person? And put them all together and make it your own. So I'm going to start with the first habit, which is clear, defined goals. Sometimes goals change. They should, depending on the situation, or if you've met your goal, you're going to need to make new goals. When I first started, I didn't even know what my goal was, except that I wanted to get healthy and I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to help one person feel as good as I felt. So that was my goal, and I reached that goal. And then I started saying, to myself, there's value in earning an income. And so then I started my business for income. And so then I had to ask myself, what was that goal? And I needed to write that goal down. So making clear, defined goals is number one. My goals have changed over time, depending on the situation. So your goals are going to change too. I started writing my goals down. I started with personal goals. I started, what are my goals going to be for a year from now? Am I lagging?
You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh.
We can still hear you.
Okay. Okay. Because I could go to my phone if I had to.
I think you're good.
Okay. So I started writing down my goals, like a year from now, 5 years from now. What are my business goals? And making sure that I knew where I wanted to go. You have to write your goals down, but you have to ask yourself, what does this goal really mean to you? And what is it going to take for you to reach that goal? And does this align with your values? Like my for sure values are my faith, my family, and my health. And if any of my goals or anything that I'm doing doesn't align with that, then it isn't meant to be in my list of goals for now. Hold on. Okay, all better. Okay, number 2 habit is scheduling your time to make this goal happen. So I don't know how many times I didn't plan. I don't know how many times I didn't write down my business hours. I don't know how many times I didn't plan to work out. I didn't plan to do anything. And I was just kind of like aimlessly out there just doing whatever. And when I started writing my goals down, I started putting them in my planner. I started doing the things that I needed to do in my business and in my personal life. Things started running a whole lot smoother. So, you know, I even scheduled time to go to Taekwondo with Johnny. I scheduled time to go, you know, spend time with my husband, which we don't have very many date nights. We need to do that. Like, that needs to go on my goal list. But those are things that you need to plan out. You need to plan, like, on days that I don't work at the hospital, because I work 3 or 4 days in a row, 12-hour shifts. I find it a little challenging to work my business, but I do something every single day. On the days that I'm at home, I am working my business. I'm either sending messages, and I sit down at my desk and I have that written out. So I'm planning my days. I know that I'm going to be in my office on those days. Excuse me. I have failed, though, in all of these areas, and I was being pulled in so many directions when I didn't have a plan. So it's very important to have a plan. In your plan, you need to plan to do the hard things first. And so when you don't plan to do the hard things first, you tend to not do them. And for me, that's inviting. And so I try 90% of the time to get my invites out first. And if I'm having an issue with my day, I reach out to my success partner, Dana, and I'm like, okay, what do we, you know, what's the plan? Let's get a plan. Let's talk about it, whatever. And then we go to work. So it's really good to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of too. It kind of gets you back into the groove of things and motivated. But you also need to remember that you have to have fun in your business. And for the longest, I would say for about a year, maybe a year and a half, I wasn't having fun in my business. And I was just kind of feeling sorry for myself, in my own feelings, and it showed, and my business suffered. And so I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. Like, I want to have fun in my business. We're supposed to enjoy this. This is, you know, we're supposed to be, you know, living a healthy, fulfilling life and doing things differently. And so I need to live that out. And when you do, it shows, because then you attract those people. Habit number 3 is work from a list. You have your goals written down for the week. You have them broken down into smaller goals. Here's the big goal. So here's the activities that you're going to do to get you to that goal. From your to-do list, you brainstorm and you prioritize the top 3 goals that you are going to get done first. If these are the only 3 that you can get done right now, get them done and get them out of the way. The rest of them can be put on your list to do in your other pockets of time that you work your business. Those tend to, you know, be your eat your frog, you know, just get it done right now. Don't spend time on the things that aren't going to produce results. No scrolling on the news feed. I'm totally guilty. Checking in with challengers or coaches, those can wait until after you're done doing your priorities. And so here are the things that you should do. You should be adding new people, inviting to a challenge group or to a business opportunity, following up, posting your social media posts, and then you check in with everything else. Those are the things that are going to build your business first. Habit number 4, increasing productivity. This business is not about getting by or being comfortable. Building a successful business means you are constantly challenging yourself to be uncomfortable. If you are saying to yourself that everything is great and fine, things are so comfortable, eventually you're going to hit a roadblock. Challenging yourself, if you have reached a certain income level, ask yourself, can I challenge that? If you're reaching a certain customer amount, if you know you're getting consistent customers and that's about the same amount that you're getting every month, ask yourself, can you challenge that? Always be in a place of uncomfortable so that you can build that business that you want. Raise your own bar. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Habit number 5 is influence. Building a business online doesn't require you to be popular. It doesn't matter how many likes you get or how many friends you have. If you are not engaging with your audience, you are not influencing in a positive way. If you're not inspiring people to make a change, you are just making a social media post. You're just posting to be posting. Interact with those people that are liking and commenting on your posts. I missed the bar on that somewhere along the line all these couple of years ago, where people were commenting and liking on my stuff and I just let them sit there and I didn't do anything with them. How many people did I miss? And so now I start relationships with those people. I'm reaching out to them. I am commenting, going to their Facebook page, and just building relationships with them. And then eventually you can send them an invite. Be a solution to their problem. Be genuine and be real. Don't just blend in. Your job is to be a person of influence. Are you influencing people to work out every day or to eat healthier because that's what you are doing? Or here's why it's helping you. So you need to think about that whenever you're posting. How is this going to add value to somebody else? And are you going to be able to provide them with a solution? I listened to the National Wake Up Call on Monday, and it was like a light bulb went off. And I'm like, why in the heck did I not think of this before? Like, it was fun. After I got off the call, I don't know, I sent out like 50 challenges to people. And, you know, like 5 of them responded back, and 3 of them even sent me a video of them doing push-ups or sit-ups or whatever I asked them to do. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it was just fun to interact with people, and I didn't expect anything from them. I didn't ask them to buy anything. I wasn't asking them to join anything. I was just genuinely being helpful, and I was adding value to them, and they thanked me for it in the end. So if you haven't listened to the National Wake Up Call, you need to go listen to it. It was amazing. So the best compliment that you can get, though, is when somebody says, hey, my friend referred me to you because you're amazing. And so that's when you are being a positive influence on somebody. That's when they want to come to you because somebody else thinks that you did something amazing, or you shared something amazing, or whatever it is. That's like the best thing, is when your friends are referring friends to you because you're offering so much to them. Habit number 6 is level up. Be honest with yourself. Be organized, which I need help in because I'm not 100%. I think my office is a mess. We can't just sit back and say, okay, I'm here, but not do anything. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Just, you know, you sending out all of those posts, or you're posting all those great, you know, workout selfies or whatever, and then people are liking and commenting, but you do nothing. So you have to level up, and you have to think about, and here's a question: how many of you have posted a post inviting to a coaching opportunity or join you as a customer, and then you sit back and do nothing? I'm guilty. Totally guilty. I'm like, yep, they should all just come to me. And I've been a coach for 4 years, and they should know this. And so, you know, come on, pour in, and they don't. You know, they like and comment, and I sit back and I do nothing. And you can't do that. You have to reach out to them. Or you've said, I've been in this business for 4 years. You should know by now that I'm a coach, that you should be knocking down my door, and that doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Hold on, baby. No. Sorry. Okay, so here's another thing that really kind of hit me. You are not entitled to success. It doesn't happen that way, I promise. None of us, hi baby, none of us are entitled to anything. You can say, though, I put up an awesome post and I'm going to work that shit. Sorry if there's kids. You're going to say to yourself, I'm going to interact with those people. I'm going to be the best person for them, and I'm going to help them no matter what. Don't expect anything. You're not entitled to anything. Just be that person of support, that person, that go-to person for them, and, you know, you'll feel better about yourself when you know that you're offering something and you're not expecting anything in return. But be proactive. You have to be proactive in your own business. I don't know where I'm at. Okay, so here's habit number 7. Learn how to lead. Anybody can sell a product, but they can't lead a horse to water. Great retail success, great at retail success, but not so great when it comes to leading a team. It takes practice, time, and consistency, self-reflection, and a lot of humble pie. I've made a lot of mistakes as a leader. Like we're not born to be leaders. We learn how to be a leader. And so it takes time, and it takes, you know, effort, and it takes loyalty to your team. And, you know, it can really be a scary thing, because I know for me as a leader of my own team, I have failed many, many times. And, you know, I've compared myself to others. I've, you know, let other people get in my head. I was afraid of saying something and it upset somebody. And so I ended up holding back and not giving of myself 100%. So I've had to eat a lot of humble pie. I now read and listen to leadership books. I take direction and instruction from other leaders and use it. You have to apply what you've learned. You can sit on these calls every week, but if you're not applying what we are giving you, it goes nowhere. This is what we have to learn. You guys are all coaches. You guys all can have your own teams, and you guys all have to lead them, but you have to take what we have and you have to apply it. So it can be scary. It can be really scary, but don't let that fear hold you back. I've learned that there has to be balance between my team and the needs of my own. And sometimes I'm going to make decisions that doesn't benefit me at all, but it benefits my team. And my team, they are in my care, and they depend on me, but I also am not going to hold their hand either. But that's the balance of having your team, and that's the balance of leading. So you got to find that balance within your team, and you got to learn, how to roll back and forth with them. And that's where you begin to create your culture. And so leadership is important to your business. And there are some things that have helped me become a leader. Like I said, I watched other leaders before me. I've asked questions. I lean in and do hard things. And I share what I've done with others. That's it.
Traci, I just love you to death. Oh my gosh. So before we open it up for questions, I want to touch on something. So at the very beginning of the call, you kind of opened it up with, as a leader, you come in and you see these coaches, whether they're your own or other coaches, but they're super successful from the beginning, or they think that they're gonna be successful from the beginning. Like they're gonna show up and be like, I'm a Beachbody coach, and everyone's just gonna want to buy 21-day fix from them or 80-day obsession or whatever. Even if you get rock hard Angie Walker abs from 80-day obsession, people aren't going to be walking down your door, okay? She's not on the call, but if she watches the recording, I'm giving her ass a shout out. But we see coaches doing that, right? Or they're super successful. They get Success Club 5 or go Emerald their first month, and then they take their foot off the gas, and then they coast, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm not meant to do this, or I'm bad at this, or coaching's not for me, or whatever. So it's so ironic that you brought that up at the beginning of this call, because this morning I was on a Star Diamond call with Jeff Hill, and at the end, like he was talking about, if you guys have not read No Limits by John C. Maxwell, great leadership book, great book when it comes to overcoming your limits, taking the cap off, going above and beyond your capacity, right? No Limits, awesome book. So at the end, he opened up for questions. And my question was to him, I said, I've always been that survivor mentality. And a lot of you coaches know this, that's been around for a while. You guys know that I've always been there's no plan B kind of coach, whether it's with my own health and fitness journey, whether it's my business, I'm going through puberty here, whether it's my team. Like I've never taken my foot off the gas. I've had hard shit happen. Shit hit the fan. I've been diagnosed with other autoimmune diseases. Like I've never stopped. But what I said is, because not everyone has that mentality. And I see these coaches that come in and they're all gung-ho and they are rock stars and they have this fire under their belly, and then life happens and that fire goes out. And for some reason, they cannot rebuild that fire. And I asked, how can we get that fire back? Because we can't help others build that fire. No matter what kind of leader you are, no matter what kind of mentor, success partner, best friend, you can't build that fire for someone else. They need to build it for themselves. And so the thing he said to me was, here's the thing, awareness plus ability plus choices equal capacity. So first you need to become aware of what you're doing. So ask them questions. Like Traci said, you have to do the hard things. Ask the hard questions. Like even if this is you, like this is who we're talking about right now, maybe you don't have coaches dealing with this, maybe it's yourself. Ask yourself what it is that I want. Where am I at in my life? Where do I want to go with Beachbody? Maybe let's be real here. Maybe Beachbody doesn't align with you at all. Maybe you're just here for community and support, and that's completely fine. But maybe it's not. Maybe you are meant to do this. Maybe this is your passion and your purpose, and helping others, serving others, live fulfilling lives is something that you were meant to do. And you got to think like, is what I want out of life aligned with the things that I'm doing every day? If not, do I have the ability to change that? How are you going to change it? What is the abilities that you have?
Right.
Can you do more personal development? Can you do more training? Can you get on a call with a mentor? Maybe you don't have a sponsor coach that's an all-in coach. Maybe you don't have a success partner. Maybe you need someone else. There's so many people on this team, like Missy Iverson. She's my coach. She's right here. I don't know where she is on the screen right here, but she's right here. She tells me, she's like, dude, I'm having people that aren't even your coaches or my coaches come to me, and it's like freaking amazing. Like, I love other people going to other leaders, other coaches for help. For, like Traci said, lean in, ask questions, because that's how you are going to grow. That's how you're going to learn. And you don't just have to learn from one person. And that's why I love these leaders stepping up on these calls, because everyone has great points of views. Everyone learns different things, and you're going to get aha moments from every coach, But then you add in your choices. Like, what are the choices you are making every day? Are you choosing to sleep in instead of doing your miracle morning? Are you choosing to hit the snooze button 5, 6, 7 times and then go to work grumpy because you had a rush? Are you choosing to eat like garbage? Are you choosing to put news and all this slander in your mind instead of personal development and meditation or, good thoughts? Are you choosing not to grow your business? Are you choosing to binge watch on Netflix instead of get out of here. Are you instead of working your business? Like, those are your choices.
Instead of playing games.
Instead of
1 minute Xbox.
Yeah, okay, get out of here. Here.
Get out of here.
And then it equals capacity. Like, if you combine all those things, your capacity could excel through the roof. Like Traci said, you set your own limits, right? And we can level up as one of the tips. You can level up and go beyond your capacity based on your choices, based on your ability, and based on your awareness. But you got to become aware of what you're doing, and you got to ask yourself, like, who am I becoming, and who do I want to become? Like, do those two questions align right now? Because if not, you need to do some reflection. So that's all I wanted to say. But let's open it up for Traci. If anyone has any questions for her, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to go in the chat real quick and see if there's Terry asked a question. Do you think that people hit Success Club too fast and then get dragged down because they can't move forward and get stuck there? That's a good question.
I think they stop. I think some coaches see the bright, shiny things and then stop. And then don't have that momentum to keep going. Or it's hard to get back on track and be like at the end of the month, oh my God, now I got to find, that's happened a lot. That happened to me a lot too. So
if you work your business every day like it's the first of the month, then you're never going to fizzle out, because like Traci said, how many of us on here, I want you guys to be honest with me real fast. So how many of you have gotten to Emerald and then you stopped inviting to coaching? Because you're like, oh, I'm Emerald, I hit my first promotion, right? Or when you got to Diamond, I know we only have a couple Diamonds on here. When you got to Diamond, what'd you do? Stop inviting to coaching. Like, it's ridiculous. When you hit Success Club, you're like, oh man, I hit Success Club. I don't need to invite to a challenge group anymore. Smooth sailing for the next 2.5 weeks. No, because you're not in this business to make Success Club. You're not in this business to hit rank. You're in this business to change lives. And the activities that you do every single day add up to that. So instead of focusing on the goal itself, focus on the activities, and then you'll never fizzle out.
Just like I had done yesterday when I sent out those challenges to the people on my list. I didn't work from a list of people. Nobody was left out. Like, I just went through whoever was online. I sent them a challenge. If you see your little green dot on the side, they all got a challenge. And I even did it to my followers on Instagram. And then when they did it and then they reached out, I didn't invite them to anything. I just said, hey, I want you to give me 10 sit-ups today. I'm going to do it with you. I sent them a video of me doing sit-ups, and they sent me a video back. And I said, hey, do you mind if I send you another challenge next week? And every single one of them that had responded back to me said yes. And so next week when I follow back up with them, it's going to be an invite after they do the challenge. So, I mean, it was just that easy to kind of be able to follow up with them.
Sorry, I forgot I was unmuted, or I was muted. Yeah, I love that, Traci. And I think that's something fun that you can do to mix up like your inviting and your CCQs that we do. For those of you that don't know what CCQs are, Dana talked about it last week, right? But questions, comments, compliments. I know I said it all wrong, but I think that's a great way to help give back and to even pay it forward too, because if you challenge them to do, to whatever, guzzle 8 ounces of water because their water intake is slacking or whatever, have them share it on their Instagram stories and tag you. That's a great way to pay it forward even further, because then people are going to be watching them. But you guys, like, the great thing about this and everything that Traci said, this is actually not hard to do. It's just people choose not to do it. It does take work, but it's not hard work. What happens is that we make it hard because we get in our own way, we get in our own head, we let fear take over, and that's not going to get us anywhere. So I challenge you guys to get out of your own way and pick one. If not everything, I just want you guys to at least pick one of these tips, one of these things tonight, and implement it over the next 24 hours. Because I know firsthand, being a coach for over 6 years, I've taken way too many notes that have been shut in a book and pushed away, from training calls to summits to Super Saturdays, and I've not even reopened that book. So what I challenge you guys to do tonight is circle one of these tips. Circle one of these and implement it over the next 24 hours. Because whatever you do, it's going to change you. It's going to change you. It's going to change your future and your business. So why not? Does anyone else have any? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said absolutely.
Does anyone else have any questions for Traci?
No.
All right, Traci, you were a freaking rock star. I would have never guessed this is your first team call.
I've worked on it for a while.
You're amazing. You're amazing. Okay, before we wrap this up, I want you guys to know that Missy Iverson and I are hosting the next 3-day sneak peek that starts tomorrow. We are reusing the group that we started at the beginning of the month on the 7th. If you guys want, I could repost it in the big team page. You still have all night to invite. You still have You still have all week to invite. But this is a great opportunity for people to see what we do as Unstoppable Misfits, see what coaching is all about, see if this is an opportunity that is for them. And yeah, so make sure that you guys invite, because you're not having them sign. It's free. It's completely free. If anything, they just get to see what it is that you do and see if this is something that may tickle their fancy. All right. So we are going to take a selfie real quick. I'm going to stop the recording. So thanks for watching the recording.